to the channel. Today it is September 8th, 2:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is going to be a trade recap of the trades and the things that I've been doing for the past 2 weeks now. If you guys are in the Discord, you already know what's been going on. Been smacking SPY like crazy. But if you're not, and you just, you watch my YouTube and everything, that's cool. But I want to break down to you guys, the type of trades and just where my head is at on how I'm gauging the market right now. And so if you watch my last recap video, you may have noticed that I said that I'm only going to trade SPY, right? And the reason for that is because I'm trying to take advantage of the aggressive price movement and high volatility that we're getting out of SPY, right? And if I know how to trade 0DTEs. Some people are afraid of them because they don't, right? But, we know how to trade them over here. So when we can take advantage of the high volatility of these 0DTEs paired with the aggressive price action that we see intraday on SPY or just on the daily, we can really maximize our returns, right? You just got to know what you're doing. And so that's what I've been doing these past couple weeks. So I'm going to go over some of the trades. Right now, we are in the swing trade section of my alert area. So we're going to go over some of the swing trades I took. All right, so first swing trade that we took on September 1st last week. We took SPY puts, 380Ps, so right here. I have a starter position in 380Ps, 916, so I took the monthlies. I did that on 8/31, so that is this day right here. Boom, 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 right here. So I got in SPY puts here because I did see like a bear flag forming, and based off of what I had on a broader aspect of things, right? If we're looking at the broad information on a broader aspect, I already had. If you guys check my charts here, hold on one sec. So my bias on price action already is bearish, right? But I was waiting for a little more confirmation before I started taking positions. But basically, if we take a look at my chart here, so this is what I had posted beforehand, before I posted this on the 15th, right? Looking at price duplicating, we're going to see some exhaustion. It's looking short. We're looking for shorts here. And then what we ended up getting out of price action was a perfect response to that level, and to what we were looking at anyway, what we were expecting out of SPY. So we saw price reaction here, right? Same chart, same everything, same arrows, same price reaction. So once we got that reaction, my bias flipped short. So now I kind of want to short all the pumps basically, because I know we're doing this in terms of price action, right? Going up, going down, higher highs, boom, boom. What do we know from price? It's not going to move in a straight line, so it's not just going to go do that. It's going to do things like this, But overall, broader aspect of things, we are shorting the market right now. And so with that in mind, when I saw this bear flag here and I saw the break and whatnot, I entered a starter position. I didn't go full. I entered the starter because I saw some potential retracements up to here, right? So I grabbed that starter. I alerted that here on 8/31, and then we flushed down the next day. So we got this right here. Boom, next day we flushed down. This is the hourly chart. We flushed down the next day. My contracts ended up going 50%. Now, I did not add to this 50%, right? They say add to your winners. We do not add when winners appreciate. We add when winners depreciate. All right, so that's what I put in the Discord. 916s are up 50%. You do you. Given this is a starter position, I only had 4 contracts there. I was waiting for, again, we know what price does. We know price does shit like this, right? So I'm waiting for price to do what I know it's going to do, right? And so once I waited for that, literally, the next day, what do we see from price? Boom, shoots right back up, right, into another fair value gap zone. But that's when I added to my position. right there. So 9:02 is when I added to my position, and 9:02 is this day right here. Oh, that's 9:02, right? Boom, boom. This is all 9:02 right here. And so once we added to that position here, again, we are adding to our position. We're already in puts. I added 20 of them at 153, but since my average was 300 already, that 153 ad ended up averaging it out to 177 bucks per contract. So I have 24 contracts now, and that position after the ad, obviously we see what happened with price. Price just basically dumped, which was, I wasn't expecting such an aggressive move, but hey, I'll take that, right? And the contracts went back up to 60%, but they still did not go back up to my original entry, which was $3. So that's why, I went into this position with the plan to add, right? Have a starter, and then I'm going to add. So that's what I did, and that's what we did. And so now by the end of the day, on that same day, our position now after all this movement, the position now was back up to 75%. At 311 per contract, but because we averaged down, we were up 75%. And then the next day, we kind of did this on the next day's open, or the next week, my bad. Next week's open, we kind of stagnated a little bit, but we ended up flushing down, and I ended up closing these contracts. So we flushed down, they ended up going to 107, and then, yeah, the disciplined trader in me is forcing me to scale some profit. I ended up cutting 15 of these guys at 3.68. Our average was 1.77, so that's about 100% or so, somewhere around there. And then the runners ended up going to 145%. I should have cut more there, but I ended up cutting some, blah blah blah. And then I don't think I posted in here, but this position, I'm fully out of this position. I am all done with this. I closed everything out. And so that was it for this swing position. And then SPY calls, we swung SPY calls from yesterday. The reason we swung SPY calls is because my consensus on SPY was this to play out, right? So I have break of structure here. We look like we're going to go for these highs. But I know price is going to come back down to retest some of these levels. And so this was the consensus there. And then SPY ended up doing exactly what we thought it was going to do. And just like predicted, we did go for these highs. But, of course, we came back down to retest some of these levels. And so we knew that was going to happen. So we swung some SPY calls. And on the swings, we ended up taking – I got them at 1.79 yesterday. Got them yesterday. Boom. And then took 53% from those. I had 5 contracts, nothing crazy, but hey, that's $400 that I didn't have before, so I'm taking that. And then after that, I scaled into some SPY puts. And the reason I got into the puts is because, again, we ended up flushing to this same level that we had back here, right? And so I was going to scale. I was going to do the same thing. I was going to scale in with some starters here. And so that's why I was going to go a little heavier. But out of nowhere, right, I'm in at 843. And then as you can see, we just had a huge flush back down, right? And so my contracts ended up going up pretty significantly, even though I had a monthly and then a next week's expiration, or next week's. But with this retracement right here, with this movement right here, I didn't take profit yet. So with that movement, I kind of saw that we were turning back to the upside. What a tricky day today. So right here, I said we are slightly turning, still up, but I'm going to look to exit and reposition because we're in profit. I'm not about to give my profit back, but at the same time, I still am short bias on the market. It's just price action is not, it's kind of not participating with us right now. And that's when you got to know how to manage your positions and know how options work, because I cut some of these 2.46 to 308 and then 2.15 to 244. That's these ones right here. And then I left some runners, so I have 5 and 2 left. But before, I had 15 and 20. So I had to cut some partials to secure that, because look where we are now. We are right back at where I grabbed the puts at. And so even though we have a bunch of time, these puts are, I'm taking that profit. I'm basically at break even now. I might even be negative because my overall, my bias is like this, but then my overall bias on what we probably are going to see is something like this. I posted this a long time ago, but this is where I see price coming up, and where I want to really, really load up on shorts is up here. This is ES. This is futures. And so this is the same thing for NQ, NASDAQ. I'm trying to load up around here, right? And so let's look at NQ. Where are we looking? Oh, what? What does it look like on NQ? Are we making our way to where we want to load those puts? Almost, right? We want to load those around here. And they're stepping up. So I am biased, but on the short term, it's looking kind of bullish, right? And so that's why I kind of had to reposition and manage my swings, because with all this time, there's a lot of time for theta to eat up my contracts. And so I'm cool with these runners. Besides that, yeah, that's what happened with our swings, right? And if you are with day trading, you can already tell. If you've been in the chat, I've been smacking these things like crazy. So let's say on 901, I took 390Ps. Let's go to SPY. I took 390Ps. Where did we take those at? Oh, all right. I forget. I'm just going to use the charts that I probably posted. This was a 2-day thing. Let's just ignore that one then. All right. So I took 401Cs here. We entered off of the retracement after we see a break in market structure. We're making relative higher highs, blah, blah. So we take that. We wait for the retracement, take that entry. Took 401Cs here, going for a high of day as first PT. First PT's hit, high days exceeded. Now we're looking to exit soon, see how far this thing goes. It keeps going. I ended up selling into this strength, and these went about 75%, 0.94 to 1.65. These were 0 DTEs. But again, you enter off of the retracement. We don't enter off of continuations, right? Add this next, but I don't think I posted that. This is something that I was looking at the other day, or what was this? Yesterday. I was looking for this to play out right here. So far it was playing out a little bit. Boom, there we go. There's our optimal entry. We're taking entry there. But now we took entry here. Price, I was expecting a lot more aggressive move. So I was saying if it does something like that, right? If it does something like this, my bias changes. And because my bias changes, I'm going to have to cut the trade. It didn't do that, but, when I get a lower low than my entry, because I'm expecting this to be the low, when I got this lower low, that kind of shook me out a little bit. So I look to sell on where I know, price is going to move up and down, up and down. So I'm going to look to sell because I just was not confident in this, right? So I cut it. I exited, all right? And so I give my reasoning. The reason for the cut is because this was going to move how I wanted. It would have done it already. It still has the potential to move like this. It still has the potential to do this, right? But the reason I cut it is because I didn't like the movement, so I cut it in the green. That's the thing about taking entries. The loss was minimal because we entered at such an optimal spot. The loss is minimal because those contracts are already at discounted premiums when we entered them. So I went from 120 to 111, took a $180 loss. That's very minimal considering my total capital risk was $2,400. So that's less than 10%. I'd say that's a great cut. Even though price ended up doing this, we would have been nicely up. I'm still okay with my exit because I stuck to my plan. I stuck to my rules. I was not comfortable with this, so I stuck to my guns, and that's going to save you more times than not in the long run, right? This was the same day, but instead I was looking to take calls. So what do we see? We're green on the hour, 2 up. We're green on the 30, 2 up. We're green on the 5, 2 up. We're going up. But what do I see on the 1? Boom. Slight TTO, retracement, whatever you want to call it. I'm looking to take calls again here. We're looking for this. Boom, 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 right? We know price isn't linear, but we are looking for this, right? We're looking to take our optimal entries down there. What do we see? Price gives us entries. We're taking entry. Here we go, round 2. Took entry. Boom. We get what we are expecting out of price action. And then, boom, we're still going. I'm up 40%. If you guys want to do what you want to do, whatever. Here, we're still kind of stagnating a little bit. We are still at optimal entry zone. This is our entry down here. But this stagnation, this consolidation, theta was actually eating at my contracts a little bit. So that's something you got to be careful of with 0DTs. But since our entry was so optimal, we got discounts on the premiums. It was all right. We're able to hold that. All right. And so ended up doing this still. Again, our entry is down here, but this stagnation is just eating away at the contracts. So I was looking to cut. So I was saying if we cannot break out here, I am cutting this because theta was just too strong. If we can't break here, I got to cut it because that's how you got to manage your 0DTs. And then, boom, out of nowhere, we get that smack. We get that. This is pretty much what we were expecting out of price action. It just took a little longer. Maybe shook a couple people out. I don't know. But we stuck to the plan. The reason I was able to hold this, again, is because my entry was so good. We entered down here. Price never broke below my entry. Rather than on this last trade where we exited, right? Price broke below my entry here, right? You see that? My entry was here. Price broke below here or something like that. Or my entry was here. Yeah, and price broke below. So that did not happen on this trade. Entry here, never broke below. I never felt like my setup was invalidated. And y'all see what happened, right? Entry here, price shot up all the way up here. I ended up exiting, right? I closed my put on my calls, but if you had held, this shit went like 200% or something like that. And again, our entry's down here. So that was that one. This is the one from today that I was going to take. I was going to take 39.70 Ps. Today was super volatile. And I said, don't do it. We about to go outside 15. I hope you guys saw this. I hope nobody took that. So I did this at 10:09, and then I posted this at 10:10. So like a minute later, once I checked back and checked the chart, I was like, oh, no, don't do it, right? And so, boom, I did not take that trade. I was looking to take 4,000 calls here to kind of scalp some of this movement. We took our optimal entry again. We wait for optimal entries down there. We get what we wanted, right? We got our entries here. We get that stagnation we're expecting, but I'm expecting a push up. Instead, we just stagnated. I was not comfortable holding this because of the high volatility of SPX and just of the day in general. And so I actually took a loss on this. I got them at 880, sold them at 770. That is a $220 loss because we had 2 contracts. But because we took optimal entries here, right, we're buying retracements, we're getting discounts. Even though this movement right here is pretty detrimental to the options contracts, especially on the SPX chain, our contracts were relatively cool because, you know, we're able to minimize our loss because we know when to and when not to enter a trade. And what ended up happening after we exited this, right, I got out of there. What ended up happening was this. Boom. And so these contracts went from 770 to about 320. So that would have been horrible. That would have been way more than 100% loss. So, or whatever, 50%, whatever you want to, yeah. But yeah, that's how that's been going. My consensus right now is we're still waiting for that on NASDAQ, and we are still waiting for something like this to play out on the S&P on ES. And so I'm still short-term bull, but I'm definitely trying to short these pumps because inevitably, in the broader scope of things, we are going down, in my opinion. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Those are some of the trades that I took. This week and last week. And yeah, just wanted to break that down to you guys to kind of give you a sense of how I'm looking at things, how I'm trading right now, and et cetera, et cetera. If you found that helpful, please hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Hit the link in my bio to join the Discord. I mean, I'm getting a ton of people in here every day. I'm actually probably going to make this private. I keep saying it, but I got to do this now because we have hella people in here. It doesn't even show me, but we got hella folks in here, y'all. And it's just a little too much, you know. Like I want y'all to be a little more present and whatnot. But yeah, Discord might go private soon, but yeah, hit that follow, like, notification, hit the link in the bio. Hope that helped you guys out. Hope it kind of gave you a sense of where my head's at and how I'm trading, what's going on right now, all this aggressive volatility and whatnot. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Everybody have a good trading week, and peace.